Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Life Lifter Showcase. This is where we're celebrating all things goal mapping and all coaches, trainers, and therapists around the world who are sharing this amazingly simple system for success, helping people to lift their lives to a higher level. Please do write hi in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. We have people around the world teaching goal mapping, more than 30 countries. And tonight will be my absolute pleasure to shine the spotlight on a couple of the leading goal mapping coaches and trainers. Ronnie Kvist from Sweden, now living in Spain, and Nikki Wild, who will be joining us from the UK and sharing their experience on goal mapping. Now, if you're new to goal mapping, please do write in the chat that you're new, and if you're an experienced person with goal mapping, maybe even a certified person with goal mapping, and then please do also write and support those people that maybe are asking questions in the chat. And myself and my partner in life and almost wife, Vicky, sat on the other side of the table, and we will do our best to answer the questions to go through. And just seeing people saying, coming in from Wales in the UK, good evening from Australia. Poppy joining us, I know, from Australia. And we have people coming in from many countries. Write your messages, say hi, say how you're feeling. Let us know if you've got a goal you want to achieve. Goal mapping has been helping people for so many years and in so many different ways. We've got a really great presentation to share with you this evening. And so I'm going to change the PowerPoint presentation. Just take a moment to move the screen around, and hopefully, here we are. So, and let me introduce myself, Brian Main, and for many, many years I've been teaching now that personal development and our journey in life is like taking a path. Life can be many different things to many different people, but one thing we can say is common for all of us is that life is a journey. It's like walking a path. And every month we're running presentations, life path presentations, where we're helping people with the different techniques of goal mapping and life mapping and action mapping so that they walk their path well. And my path started in personal development many years ago. This photo of me going back to 1994 when I started my professional speaking career. 29 years now as a professional full-time trainer and speaker and coach, one of the early trainers and speakers in the UK. And just a little while after I started my journey as a speaker and a trainer, sharing the goal mapping system. And here on the screen, you can see one of my early goal maps going back to 1996, when I very first started teaching the technique. And although I've changed much over the years, the message has stayed consistent. And it's in essence, your thoughts create your reality, both in yourself as a person. So the way you think about yourself shapes your character, who you become. But also, of course, it shapes your life, the choices you make, the decisions, the path that you take, what you're attracted to, what you do, what you create. Creating a goal map helps you to be at your very best. And over the years, I've shared the goal mapping system with more than 5 million people around the world, reaching people in more than 30 different countries, speaking sometimes in large presentations like here in Brussels, sometimes in smaller workshops, a whole range of products helping people to learn the mapping systems and develop themselves, are selling many hundreds of thousands of copies. But it's the new online personal development platform. When I say new, we actually started with it in 2016, the current version, originally the first version, 2009. So we're in the third generation now of the online interactive dynamic web app, as it is, helping people to improve their lives in so many different ways. And in the web app, you can use the personal development tools to check your life balance and, of course, record it into your life journal. You can also take the life path journey, watching the video from the goal mapping workshop. Click on any of the dots, up comes the video, and at the end of each video, you're given the choice. Do you want to watch another video, or do you want to go and engage with your goal map? You can create a number of different maps in the online platform. A goal map in words and pictures, but also life map and action map, all here in the same platform. And people have been testifying for many years the difference that the system is making to them in so many different ways, whether that is paying off their debt, buying their own home, or indeed buying a home, as Wayne is saying here in his testimonial for his mother, or changing their life, improving their health, creating great wealth, putting their children into private education. And we have so many messages from so many people over so many years saying how goal mapping has helped them improve their lives in different ways. And whatever your desire, whatever journey you're on, whatever it is that you want to achieve, a goal mapping can help you. It is the #1 system for success around the world. And whatever your current situation, when I first encountered personal development at the start of my journey, it was because my life was broken. I took a huge life crash. And at the beginning of my personal development journey, I was £1 million British in debt, and my home had been repossessed, and my marriage had broken down. I had no qualifications, and I couldn't even read or write properly because I'd grown up in a traveling community and I didn't go to school very much. On both sides of my family, my ancestors are traveling funfair people. This is my great-grandmother in her traveling show, my great-grandfather with his amusements, and my grandfather and grandmother with my father, aunt and uncle sat on the steps of their wagon. This is my father's funfair. This was the life I was born into, 1961, and I travelled round with the funfairs until I was 18. And then my life changed because I opened a disco, and I became actually the youngest person in England to be allowed to have a license to open a nightclub. And I run that club for 13 years. It became very famous in the UK, very successful. We had lots of people coming from pop stars, movie stars, celebrities of all types from around the UK, plus from other countries around the world. Or even documentaries made about the place. We're in lots of music magazines. And I had a very good life with that business for 13 years. But at the end of 13 years, the business came to an end because tourism changed here on the Isle of Wight where I live. And my main customers, instead of coming to the Isle of Wight anymore, I started going to other places such as Ibiza and the Mediterranean. And so the family business went out of business. And at age 29, found myself in a really dark, difficult situation, which is that all of my income had stopped. I was massively in debt. I was alone. Home had been repossessed. No qualifications. Couldn't read or write properly. And the turning point for me was I met a great uplifting life coach, one of the pioneering life coaches here in the UK, teaching good quality personal development many years ago when other people simply were not. And some of the things that he shared with me really helped me to turn my life situation around, to start to pay off my debt, to re-educate myself, to feel more confident about myself, and to start a new career where I started to teach other people about the power of positive thinking and self-improvement that had so much helped me to overcome my dyslexia, overcome my learning challenges, take my life forward in a new way. And as I started to teach those systems to other people, so the goal mapping technique was born. And for now 28 years, I've been sharing goal mapping around the world, reaching more than 5 million people in total. 1 million of those are children in education. And my big goal is to reach 7 million people. I want to help people empower themselves within the community and to share goal mapping within their family, helping people in health and well-being and sport, helping people to advance their corporate career, and helping people to improve their education. Key areas of life where goal mapping has proven itself over these last 28 years. How's it helping people? Well, I've written a number of different books and audios and videos, making regular presentations, both physically in person as well as online every month. But the thing that is helping most is the Train the Trainer program. It's the certification community. And we now have more than 1,540 people. I think the latest count is 1,542 people around the world of all different ages. The youngest is just 15 and the oldest is in her 80s. They come from different backgrounds, some of them working with education, some with business, some with network marketing, some with sport, health, well-being. What they all have in common is that they are heart-centered and they have a deep, caring passion to make a difference in the world. And within the goal mapping community, the Life Lifter community, we're helping to inform people, inspire people, and empower them with the goal mapping technique. And we have a full set of resources available for free for you to do that for yourself. You can download the paper templates, you can get the ebook, and also, of course, you can use the online goal mapping platform. Now, whatever type of coach you may be, or therapist or trainer, or whatever type of coaching you may be interested in or aspire to maybe be a coach in the future, it is vital that you learn how to help other people achieve their goals. It is the mark of a successful coach. Whether you're a health coach, a wealth coach, a business coach, an education coach, it is a fundamental responsibility that when people come to you, they want you to help them achieve their goals. And goal mapping, quite simply, has become the world's leading system for goal success. Even the top coaches like Anthony Robbins think so, and that is why for so many years he has had me present goal mapping and other coaches that are certified in goal mapping to present to his top customers, the platinum partners, or to his youth academy, the Leadership Academy. And goal mapping is used by many of the world's leading coaches now, and organizations such as Siemens, Disney, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, all employing people to teach goal mapping to their own people to help them in their leadership and development journey. Perhaps one of the greatest pleasures of fulfillment for me is when I'm presenting goal mapping to young people, and goal mapping reaching more than 1 million students around the world. Primary school, secondary school, university. Here, a group of Italian students are receiving goal mapping. It's even used in universities and graduate programs here in one of the top private schools of Nigeria. Sports people also using goal mapping. This is Catalin Konya, 3 times world champion kickboxer. You can see her goal map next to her picture. Sometimes people are drawing goal maps on paper. More often these modern times, they are creating their goal map in digital form using the online platform. You absolutely have the choice to do whichever you wish. So 542 people certified around the world with goal mapping, some of them working in corporate, some in public, some in education, some working across all the different areas. And in the coach registry, you can search for a goal mapping coach or trainer that is working in an area that is of interest to you. You can contact that person. You can find someone speaking your own language. If you're wanting to speak a specific language. And tonight, it's a great pleasure to be inviting Nikki Wild, one of the most senior of the goal mapping practitioners, certainly one of the most experienced of goal mapping practitioners, working with goal mapping, I think since 2009, to join us and to share her wisdom about how she is using goal mapping. And I'm just going to change the camera position and see if we can get Nikki to join us and just share her insights about the benefits that she's found through using goal mapping. Let's see if we can bring her on screen now. Hello, Nikki.
Oh, good evening. Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever anyone is in different time zones. It is absolutely lovely to see everyone. And thank you for the invitation to the showcase spotlight. It's goal mapping is something that has been very dear to my heart for, well, a decade and a half almost. And I do still have my first goal map to hand, which I keep almost as a sort of a reminder of how far I have come from when I was first sat in my goal mapping workshop with you, Brian, way back when.
How long ago?
2009. That's the date on my goal map, 2009. And
have you achieved all those goals, Nikki?
I have. Not necessarily in the way that I expected to, which is the thing that I find fascinating, or one of the things I find fascinating about goal mapping. When I created that first goal map, I have to say I am quite a left brain person a lot of the time. I do a lot of left brain logical analysis. I also love my right brain loves the pictures and the illustrations. I've got a very visual mind, so I'm mostly quite balanced. But on that particular day, it was before I was still in the process of leaving my old finance director position. I was FD for a £2 billion property investment fund, and I was absolutely burnt out, stressed beyond belief. And I had already started my coaching. I'd founded my coaching business. That was March 2009. So I was in that transition phase of moving from corporate employee into going, let's see if this coaching stuff works and see what happens. I can always go back and be an FD if it doesn't. And I've never gone back. So a big part of that is goal mapping. And
why did you never go back?
I never went back because I believe that I am walking the path of my purpose. I was doing something that I'm really good at, but it wasn't fulfilling.
Finances.
What the goal mapping did was give me that space to sit and think, what's the path that I am meant to be walking, and what am I supposed to be doing because it's what I'm on the planet to do versus the thing that I am good at. And sometimes the thing we're good at is the thing we're meant to be doing, and sometimes it's just a distraction. And I was very skeptical. That first workshop, I was sat there with my sort of old thinking, my old sort of way of approaching work and everything, and I was kind of thinking, is it really this easy? You draw a few pictures and you sit back and wait for it to happen. I was very skeptical, but I also was very open-minded and thought, let's play along and see what happens. I take this attitude of curiosity quite a lot, And I was so surprised at how effectively goal mapping worked that's when I decided within probably within weeks of my first goal map, going, I need to share this with everyone. This was a complete revelation. And it's because we are engaging the whole brain, left, right, conscious, unconscious. And I hadn't appreciated just how much my unconscious was determining my outcomes, and that I hadn't been giving it clear goals to go away and work on. I hadn't been giving it a focus and a purpose and all of those things that we do in the mapping systems. And so whilst I did have, there's one of the pictures on there is a house, little house that people can see. That house is actually a house in the Lake District in Cumbria, which is about 250 miles north of where I'm sat right now. And I still don't have that house. But the words that go along with that is, my office is surrounded by trees and birds. And I look out and I've got an oak tree in my front garden, and I watch the red kites circling above my window. And so I have achieved the trees and birds bit, and my brain has gone, yeah, that's ticked off, that's fine.
Remind me, Nikki, where was the first presentation? Was it the Coaching Academy?
It was Coaching Academy in Latimer.
Okay. And that's been quite a journey. I know you've helped not only a lot of people, but lots of different types of people. I know you do a lot of corporate work, you do executive coaching, but you're also helping people that are out of work. So tell us some of the different ways that you think goal mapping has helped you to help others.
What it has done is give me an approach that is different to how most people have been trying to get themselves out of a hole or to resolve their things. What I find is most people who think they're writing goals are writing a to-do list. I am going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. They're not stopping to think about what are the outcomes, or answering the question, what's the reason for doing that? What is that actually going to give you? And the goal mapping in particular stops people in their tracks and says, what is it you want to achieve, and what's the reason for that, and what are the benefits? And then we'll come to the to-do list later. And what most people who I talk to when I go and meet, so as Brian says, I work in corporate organizations. I still specialize in working with finance teams because that's my background by qualification, so I can talk their language, and they love goal mapping because they don't often get to play with pictures very often. So my finance professionals, and particularly in the NHS, but also other organizations, love it. I work with small businesses, so we'll look at the business coaching and the goals for all of them, privately one-to-one with senior executives and directors. And a lot of them, it's dealing with the imposter syndrome and the little sort of doubts in the back of their mind. And the goal mapping alongside the life mapping, in particular, the life mapping is a brilliant sort of complement to that, because it's who are you showing up as well as achieving the goals. What do you want to achieve, as well as who are you being to get it there? But the conversation I have when I go to meet someone up front as a coach, rather than just any old coach who could knock on their door and say, I want to work with your team, when I have a conversation with the person who's meeting me around understanding what's going on in their teams, understanding the motivations behind what they're doing, and understanding that whilst you might be chucking training course after training course at the people, what you're dealing with is their technical skills and abilities. You're not dealing with the mindset that goes along with that. And we talk about this a lot in the goal mapping training, the mindset that goes along with the skill set and the social abilities. And it's a revelation to talk about the mindset. And so goal mapping gives me the opportunity to have a different conversation that they probably haven't had with any of the other potential coaches they might work with. So it has got me business. It has set me aside from others. It has won me business that other people might have been competing for. And it has given me, it has resulted in me being invited to speak on podcasts, to speak on blogs, to write articles. And all of these things have come about because I've sat there going, this is the best thing. I've tried many different things over the last decade and a half as a coach. I investigate other goal setting approaches, and I still use this for myself because it works. And I get so excited about that when I'm meeting them. Of course, I'm going to use this for myself. I use it because it works, and I'm yet to find anything better. So I'm going to stay with this because why wouldn't I? And to be a passionate advocate for it yourself and say, I do this for myself. I've got in that wallet behind me, I've got my goal map, my action map, my life map, my self map, all my mapping system is there. And I practice what I preach. I wouldn't expect my clients to use this if I didn't believe in it myself. So it's that different conversation that it gives.
Do you want to screen share and show us your maps? Are you able to do that? Have we given permission?
To be able to. Let me put this in view mode.
I've just clicked the permissions.
Fabulous. So there's this. Oh, there we go. It says it's disabled screen sharing. It might have just turned it off.
Maybe I turned it on at the same time Vicky clicked it and turned it off, maybe.
Give it a second. The suspense is so worth it. Killing. So when we can screen share, I pulled together a selection of my maps for this year, my current ones, and it's a balance between who am I being, what am I doing, what am I going to have as a result, which is what as coaches, of course, we talk about be, do and have. And I love that the mapping systems complement the being, the doing and the having between the different bits. Screen share, there we go. So you've got my who am I being, my purpose, my mission, life map for this year of me being positively strong. That eagle image features an awful lot. I have a Christian faith, and there's a particular verse in the Bible that talks about soaring on wings like eagles, and it's that effortless approach is kind of, I use that eagle image quite a lot to represent my mental state. And the smiley happy features an awful lot on my maps, and for some reason the diamond seems to show up quite a lot. It's interesting, when we do many maps, we quite often find that there are recurring images in our maps, but it's that is the who am I when I'm walking my purpose, when I know that I'm waking up each day doing the thing that makes my heart sing, the thing that I'm on this planet to do. But I also know that I am a human being, and I get distracted and I procrastinate, and I wake up in the morning and I hit snooze and hide under the duvet instead of leaping out with boundless energy. So my action map on this one is about being active. So it's developing a sort of mindset of being active in mind, body and spirit, so that I keep moving to keep me mobile. And that it says I dance through my days because I love music. So the idea of going to a gym and exercising just sends me cold. But the idea of dancing is something I love. And when I was at university, all my friends used to go off and do sport. And I would go to the ballroom. I was part of the Ballroom Dancing Society, and I would go to ballroom and Latin American dancing. And that's what kept me fit as a student. So I danced through my days. And my goal map for this current calendar year is my happiness map. Quite simply, we talk about success is happy. So it's in what way am I going to be happy? And the sub goals are I'm working in balance with life, and I am serving excellent clients. I'm very picky about who I work with. I only work with nice people, and I'm very choosy who I work with. I am running my business with ease, and I am making music I love, because music is a big part of my life as well as a musician and a songwriter. And so these maps are my inspiration, if you like, for the current financial year. And I am looking forward to my celebration date, although my happiness map is kind of a ongoing one. I'm not going to wait until the 31st of December to be happy. It's just that on the 31st of December, I will celebrate having been happy all year. That is my mission on that one.
It's fantastic, Nikki. And you said you're picky about your clients. So what's your favorite client?
Well, the other slide that I had that has a mixture of some examples of some of the people I work with, which was, as Brian's mentioned, I love my NHS clients because they are finance professionals, and I can go and show them that there is an alternative way to being stressed and burnt out. So that's the most fulfilling, my SEMA contacts in the accountancy world. But the M3 Job Club, which is the charity we founded 12 years ago in April, 12 years ago, which is supporting adults after redundancy, they're changing their mindset and their attitude and realigning their goals is very fulfilling. But my perfect client, I say I only work with nice people. It is somebody who is ready to make a change, and somebody who's perhaps tried other things and got in a bit of a rut and is sitting here going, actually, this makes sense. Let's give this a go. They're open-minded, ready to make a change and determined to do something about it. I get very frustrated with people who don't do their homework, but I love my clients who are engaged. So Wild Empowerment, which is 14 years old, is where I get to play with my lovely executives. And it's executive coaching, business coaching, and mentor coaching. I coach individual coaches who want to get paid to coach and have a coaching business, so they're newly qualified. So I have a couple of mentees on the go most of the time who are in the background. So that's my, and everybody gets exposed to goal mapping through all of that,
whether they want it or not. So what do you think is the best goal that goal mapping has helped you achieve?
Oh my word. So many.
I know I didn't prep you with any of the questions, so just throwing them out randomly.
I guess I have to go back to the very, very first goal. My brain immediately went analytical. What do you mean by best, and how do I define my best goal, and all that sort of thing. But if I go back to the very, very start, that very first goal map, which was, I have a coaching business and I have had the courage to step out of my finance director role with all the security of a six-figure director salary and all of those trappings of wealth and success in inverted commas of the material, to take what was effectively a significant pay cut initially while I started the business from scratch, and to trust that I was going to be on my purpose path instead of just working the daily grind. I think that was the most important goal that I ever set.
It takes a lot of courage, doesn't it?
And everything else has been building on that foundation. Everything else has been an iteration of that has kept me checking in. So everything subsequently, whether we're doing the showcase programs or the golden opportunity workshops or the warrior within, all of these programs that I sit through and take part in are me touching base back to my purpose. Am I still on the path? Does anything need adjusting? Has it run its course yet? All of those things are keeping me on track. So every subsequent map is important in its own right. And they all build on that first courageous step.
I know you've helped a lot of different people in different ways, and you've been really active with big organisations like the NHS, and I know you coach a lot of people. Is there one success story, one goal achieved for a client that really stands out and touches your heart in some way?
There is. There actually, it's two people, but they were very, very similar. One was about a year ago. One was just a few months ago, and both of them were, or still are, senior directors in their organisations. They sit in board meetings with very high-profile colleagues, and both of them started out by explaining how they felt inadequate in their roles. They were worried that they weren't up to the task. They were worried that they were putting on a mask and pretending to be this clever professional. And if I think about the one a year ago, when I first met her, she was very she was talking the right things. She was going to meetings and saying things, but she was really nervous and she was kind of not speaking up in meetings. And we worked through her goal map. What was her purpose? We supplemented it with a life map as well, and she had both of them on her notice board above her computer. So all of this was on Zoom, so we used the online system. To this day, I've never met her in person. It's all been on Zoom. And I could tell when she was looking at it, because she'd look up and I could tell she was looking at her maps. And after 3 or 4 months, we had a check-in. She by this point she'd been to Spain and back for the next quarterly board meeting. And she said some of her colleagues, some of these very senior colleagues, had commented how relaxed she was in the meeting, how great her ideas were, and all she'd done was had the courage to show up as herself and speak out and find her voice. And it's a big thing that I do this as part of the Warrior Within, is this aspect of finding your voice and having the courage to speak out and get your message heard. And so here, somebody who, if you didn't know this was going on under the surface, would look and think they're perfectly successful. Why on earth do they need a coach?
Yeah.
Know what I did behind the scenes with her, and how her mindset changed and how her perception of her own identity changed just by implementing what we did through the mapping systems. And then to hear how relaxed she was. We got to the point at the end of the agreement that we put in place, and we were reviewing it, and I said, I genuinely don't think you need any more sessions. You have come so far. You are like a different person to the person I met 4 months previously. We are still in touch, and we have the odd sort of top-up session that's more practical goals, but it's so fulfilling for me as a coach to start a journey going, I don't know what I don't know with this person, and then to have them trust us as with their deepest fears, concerns, insecurities, all of those things, and then for them to do the work to turn themselves around. And of course we get the credit because we're the coaches, but actually they do the work. And we just introduce them to the tools that are going to help them to do that. And it's the reason I haven't gone back to being a finance director, because I never got that feeling from submitting a report to the investors. Never once did I get anywhere near the thanks that I get from my clients when I'm coaching.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling of satisfaction when you can help someone achieve a goal. And we've got a lot of new people this evening that are online and viewing. What would you say to a new person considering becoming certified in goal mapping, Nikki?
What I would say is start at the beginning and trust the process, and remember that whoever you choose to share this with, you know more than they do. You might be 1 step ahead of them, you might be 10 steps ahead of them. I think sometimes some of these showcases, me and some of our other more senior practitioners, might look like we know what we're doing, and that it's all, oh my goodness, I don't know everything yet. Of course, we all started on day one at some point. My first coaching client with goal mapping, it was before I had access to the online. I'd sat with the template and I talked them through it. And then I had the scary practitioner training where I sat with the lovely Brian, who taught us the content, and then we had to present his content back to him, which was
I hope I wasn't too scary.
You were absolutely lovely. So to anyone who's scared of learning from Brian and having to teach Brian his own stuff, it's wonderful. It is the most encouraging, safe community I have ever been part of. And if it means that you start small and share this with one person, do that. If you end up taking over the world and sharing it with 1 billion people, do that. Whatever it is that you feel guided to, if your gut is telling you, actually, I know who ought to hear about this, that's where to start, I would say, is go to that audience. I started with accountants because I knew a lot of stressed accountants. I was one of them. And I thought, I'm going to start.
You knew your niche.
You definitely knew my need. and then it's broadened from there, and I've learned the life mapping, I've learned the action mapping, the self mapping. All of those things have been layered on later. But just like everyone else who starts on day one at some point, I was sat there with one goal map and some templates, and then I went and I still have this is my from my original goal mapping practitioner training. I've still got my folder with all my detailed notes in it. So but it was just started at the beginning and thought about who, if I love this and I can't keep it to myself because it's too important to keep to myself, who do I need to share it with first? So that would be my question to each person who's new. Who do you need to share this with first?
It's so lovely that you've still got all those things, Nikki. When you hold up paper goal map or the training manual, it's like, for me, like a trip down memory lane. And when you held up the training manual just now, I thought to myself, that's so last century. But of course it was.
It was last century.
Because it was 1999, I think, that the first training of coaches and trainers took place, first certification training, where we created that manual. Now, of course, the online. Bless you, Nikki, and for all the good work you do, not just helping clients with goal mapping, but helping the certified community, the Life Lifter community. You've been such a star the key coach trainer these days, helping other people learn goal mapping and share it with whoever they wish. A parting thought from you. I know you've got to go and you've got other commitments tonight you need to attend to. Something you'd like to say to everyone? And please do tell everyone best way of contacting you if they would like to reach out to you and ask you questions or even ask you for one-to-one coaching.
Yeah, so I'll start with that bit because that's the easy bit. You can obviously find my coach profile on the directory anyway. And LinkedIn is a brilliant way of connecting with me as well. Lots of people connect with me on LinkedIn. There is only one Wild Empowerment. There are lots of Nikki Wilds in the world, apparently, I've discovered. But there is only one Wild Empowerment, so that usually hunts me down on most of the platforms. And wildempowerment.com, which is my website, has got my phone number and it's my direct mobile, so anyone can get me on the mobile. That's on the website, and the email is on there. So there are lots of ways to hunt me down. If in doubt, email Vicky and she'll put us in touch. So that's a really easy way to track me down. And I guess what I would just say as a parting thought is keep in touch with this community. I have been trained and certified by various people over the years. And hand on heart, I can honestly say Brian is the most generous, supportive of all of those people. You are always there for your practitioners, your coaches, your facilitators, your community. I know that we are part of you lifting 7 million lives, so there's an element of keeping that network in place. But there is always, you are always there for all of us, and the community is wonderfully supportive. We all go through stuff. We all have our roller coaster of life. We all deal with hardships and challenges, and the support and encouragement from people within this community has been so valuable over the years when things have been tougher. And so we know when we're all on, when some of us are on ups, somebody else will be on a down, so we support each other. And the once you're part of the practitioner or coach or facilitator community, we have these regular, every Monday night there is something going on. So anyone who is already part of the community can attend the mastermind on the third Monday of the month. So that's a plug for my third Monday masterminds, which is come along and join us on those. But that's for my gift to the community, to sort of think about behind the scenes how we're all working. So there are many ways to hunt me down and connect. So it'll be lovely to keep in touch with everyone.
Bless you, Nikki. Really lovely to see you. Wish you really well. And for anyone who's already certified in goal mapping, please do join Nikki's support group, mastermind group, third Monday in the month. And me and Vicky were there last Monday. And yeah, it's fantastic, really thought-provoking and inspiring, and great support for people. Wish you well, Nikki.
Thank you. Lovely to see you. And I apologise, I am leaving by 8 o'clock because I have another meeting at 8. So I would love to stay for longer, but lots of love to everybody, and I will see everyone at some point somewhere.
We know what a busy person you are. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye for now. So let us return back to the PowerPoint presentation. If you would like to contact Nikki, then please do search her in the coach profile or find her on LinkedIn. She has an absolute wealth of experience of how to use goal mapping in so many different ways and areas of life, and creating a whole range of maps, a master mapping coach in both goal mapping, life mapping, action mapping, and indeed self-mapping. Goal mapping is both a system of success for setting goals, as well as a mindset workshop. And one of the fundamental pieces of content in the workshop is the winds of change. We live in a world that is changing incredibly fast. And my home is on the south side of the Isle of Wight, and the Isle of Wight, for those people and not living in England is down at the south of England. A lot of people think it's the Isle of Man or somewhere else, but no, down in the south of England is where you'll find the Isle of Wight, circled here in green. Here's a close-up of it. And my home is over on the south side at Ventnor, and every year we have a famous yacht race. More than 1,500 sailing boats going around the island, leaving Cowes, travelling all the way around and back to Cowes in the yacht race. And as they pass my home at Ventnor, you can see it's out on the point. And as they pass my home, I took this picture a couple of years ago, the wind is changing direction. And as the wind changes direction, the crew of the yacht need to respond and change the set of the sail. Now imagine that you are like a sailing boat traveling through life. As you make your voyage through life, the wind will change direction many times, as it does here on the Round the Isle of Wight yacht race. But regardless of which direction the wind may blow from, and whether the wind is blowing strong or weak, the ability that each of us have is to choose the set of our sail. We cannot control the direction of the wind. We cannot control which way the wind blows or how strong or weak it blows, but we can adjust the set of the sail. And by adjusting the set of the sail, we can capture the opportunity created by the wind, and we can use that to power us on our journey towards our goals and dreams. What it requires is that we be the captain, that we work with our mind and our heart, and we choose our actions. And by choosing our thoughts, by choosing our attitudes, and by choosing our actions towards the changing situations of life, towards the changing wind of life, we're able to find the opportunity and use that to help us continue on our journey towards the things we most desire. What it requires is that each of us learn to set a goal, that we stay clear on where we want to go, because goals are like beacons of light that help us find our way during dark and storming times. The world is changing faster than ever before in recorded history. Every area of life is changing faster and faster and faster, and the reason why is technology. In 2019, during a journey home from Vietnam, I watched a documentary from a professor from Harvard Business School who said that in the next few years, the sophistication of artificial intelligence, AI, combined with more powerful computers, would mean that 10 million jobs that people do would be lost, because instead machines would do those jobs. Computers with more powerful robotics and artificial intelligence would take 10 million jobs that were currently processed by people. Just a few days ago, I had a conversation with a friend in Vietnam who's watched a new documentary and seen a new report where they are now estimating it will not be 10 million jobs lost to artificial intelligence, it will be 300 million jobs lost to artificial intelligence. Every so often there is a big world change, and when the world changes, it's important that we respond to the change. Because if we approach change with the right attitude of mind and condition of heart, we find the opportunities created by change. But if we approach change with a fearful mind, all we see is the darkness and the difficulty. And many people find themselves on the rocks of life because they were never clearly guided by their goals of where they want to go. The clearer you are about where you want to go in life and what you want to do and why it's important to you, the more the winds of change will power you on your journey. Change creates opportunity. The more change there is in the world, the more opportunity there is in the world. That's why we have more millionaires being created at greater speed than ever before. And the same estimates that are predicting that 300 million jobs will be lost are also predicting that more billionaires will be created in this coming period than ever before in Earth's history. Why? Because the technology is creating more change, the change is creating opportunity, and it's the people that are clear about where they want to go and what they want to do that program their mind, both conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious mind, to help them both see and seize the opportunities created by change. It's also predicted that coaching and training and therapy will be the last industries to be automized by artificial intelligence and robots and computers. And so many people at this time are looking to change careers, to have a life change, as Nikki was talking about, from a traditional career and employment to a more freedom career and employment. Not only where they feel they are making the difference, but where they are in charge of their own future to a much higher degree and can feel those fantastic feelings, as Nikki talked about, of fulfillment and satisfaction in knowing that you're helping people change themselves and change their lives and making a handsome living for yourself in the process. Creating a goal map helps you see the light through the darkness of these fast changing times and find your way to where you want to go. And in the process of taking the certification program, not only learning that for yourself, but helping other people find the way also. Why does goal mapping work? Well, it's this unique combination of words and pictures that help to stimulate and activate both sides of the brain, left brain and right brain. Left brain, conscious mind, be clear about where you want to go, think clearly in words so that you can be precise and accurate. But then also state your goals and intentions and dreams in imagery, so you're activating your right brain, and through doing that, commanding your subconscious. Your subconscious mind thinks in pictures, your conscious mind thinks in words. And in creating your goal map, you activate both sides of your brain. And the reason why so many people do not achieve their goals, the reason why so many people fail at their goals, is because quite simply they don't set the goals in the right way to begin with. If you failed at a goal in the past, please just say yes or raise your hand. And many people have, I have, until I started to learn the science of goal success. It is a science. There is a right way to set goals and a wrong way to set goals. Quite simply, most people are setting goals in the wrong way. The wrong way of setting goals is that you're only using one half of the brain. So some people only set goals using words. They write line after line after line of I want or get fit. And they're just writing down words. And like the punishment that used to be given in schools years ago for being naughty, write line after line after line of things. Other people in more recent times are using vision boards and dream boards. And so they have a lot of great pictures and some good feelings, but there is no words, no clarity. There is just pictures. We have two sides of the brain, left brain that thinks in words, right brain that thinks in pictures. And the reason we have two sides of the brain, we need two sides of the brain. We need to be clear about our goals with the words, precise and accurate, quantify. We need to get passionate and have a good picture for where we want to go and what we want to do, because our subconscious mind responds to pictures. Goal mapping helps to activate the whole brain, left brain words, right brain pictures. Whole brain activation leads to self-actualization. Self-actualization means you turn your thoughts into reality. This is not something new I invented. This is something I discovered and feel blessed, like a gift from the universe. It's something that ancient esoteric cultures have been teaching many thousands of years. You can look in different wisdom literature around the world over the last 3, 4, 5,000 years, and you will hear the deep ancient wisdom talking about the way you create your reality is through a combination of affirmation, words for the left brain, and visualization, pictures for the right brain. Affirmation and visualization, words and pictures, help to stimulate whole brain activation and lead us into self-actualization. This is why a goal map or a life map or an action map works so incredibly well. But there is more than just using words and pictures to activate the whole of the brain. To understand the science of goal success, we need to understand the fundamental principles of goal success. It starts with using our right brain and having a dream about our future desires. And there may be many things that we desire. And so then with the second step, we need to use our left brain so that we can identify what we believe is the main goal, the main thing we want to achieve. This is the goal that's right in the center. And then step 3, why? What are our strongest motivating reasons? And we are not motivated by logic. We are motivated by emotion. And the stronger the emotion, the greater the power. Many people send me goal maps and ask me for my feedback. And the first thing I look for is, are the people writing in affirmation? This ancient principle of using your words in the most powerful way. An affirmation is always written personal, positive, and present tense. I recently had a message from one of our new coaches saying the greatest thing that she learned in the coaching program was how to set her goals using this ancient esoteric principle of powerful affirmation. Personal, positive, present tense. I am, I have, I earn, I own. Make it passionate. So many people just write get fit. That is not a goal command. That will not command your subconscious. That's just you writing 2 words. I am fit and healthy, feel fantastic. That's an affirmation goal command. And in the goal mapping coaching program, we coach our coaches in how to coach people to create powerful affirmations, whether that's business people, it's education people in school, sports people, people in well-being. The principle holds true for all. Through thoughts and words, pictures, we activate our whole brain, we make and shape our world around us. Also in a goal map, we identify when we're going to achieve the goal. If we don't give a date, it's not a goal. It's just a wish, it's an intention, it's left floating somewhere in the air. Give a date, and then you're given a target to aim for. You may not always achieve the goal by the date you wish, but that's okay. That's just the way life is. By giving the date, it gives you a specific aiming point so you can make a plan. This is another defining feature of a goal map. Simple actions that you will take to move you along the path, the things that you will do that help you step by step by step to achieve your goal. Final step, who will help? You, other people, friends, family, teachers, coaches. In a goal map, you have all of the key information about what it is you want to achieve, what's the priority, what does it look like, why do you want it, when, how will you do it, and who is going to help. It's a simple plan on a single page that helps you move towards your chosen desires and dreams. In the online system, we follow the simple 7 steps. You can see here on the screen the goal map from one of the regions of the Italian Tourist Bureau, who are running goal mapping workshops around Italy, helping to increase tourism. Step 1, what do you want to achieve? What's the dream? Step 2, what's the priority? Step 3, what does it look like? Why do you want it? When? How are you going to do it? Who's going to be involved? And whether you're creating a goal map for yourself, whether you're coaching a client, whether it's a goal map for business or education or public welfare, these same 7 steps hold true. The online program allows you to drill down into more detail and to create an action plan, a 90-day to-do list that you can attach to your goal map so you can manage the goal in a professional way. And it's my great pleasure to introduce one of our very professional goal mapping practitioners and someone who's now become a friend over the years since I first met him. I think it was back in 2014, maybe. Ronnie in Sweden, Gothenburg, maybe, no, Helsingborg, with Forever Living Products. From memory, not from not from notes. It's a pleasure to see you again. It's been a little while, my friend. How are you? I know you're not living in Sweden currently.
No, it just happened to be that one thing that was on one of my goal maps was moving to Spain. So guess where I'm living?
Spain.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
So tell us a little bit about your work, Ronnie. I don't think we've spoken for about a year or so, but we've shared a few messages these last days since inviting you to come and share your wisdom in your work. And one of the things that I so love about goal mapping and the certification program is there are all sorts of people using it in all sorts of ways. And I know that you've had quite a journey since first joining goal mapping. Your own work has moved on. And I think people find it very inspiring to hear about your journey, both with personal development and your professional work, but of course, specifically with goal mapping.
Of course. My background is that I'm an exercise physiologist, a former sports nerd. Come from the athletic world, took me to the US, got a scholarship at a university, got my education, moved back to Sweden, married the love of my life that I met in college, and we moved to Sweden in 1991. And ever since, I have been self-employed, always been like, put the throttle to the bottom and just like passionated work with what I've always loved. Has it been easy? Of course not. Of course not. It's like, it's been a tough journey and a long journey, but something when you do what you love and you work with your passion, there is always a reward and a blessing along the path, and then you bump into things that is going to empower your life in so many ways. And that's one of the things that was you, Brian, when we accidentally bumped into each other, because I had a guy from Denmark who asked me if I could arrange a workshop about something called goal mapping in Sweden, because he had a guest speaker, this Brian Main, coming to Denmark, and why not do it in Sweden as well? I said, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. I know nothing about goal mapping. I knew nothing about it, but it's something tickled me, and that's why I said yes. I'm like a little bit of a yes theory guy. Like I'd rather say yes than say no. And if it feels good in the gut, if it is something that tickles me, I'm going to go for it. And that's what happened, and that's how we met. And then you looked at this, the logotype of my car, and you saw the Forever Living logo, and that's how we started to talk. That you are already familiar with Forever, and at that time I was heavily involved, and I'm still involved, but even though I do other things as well. So when you said before that all the different areas where goal mapping has been used and is used, well, I'm one of these guys that probably been using the goal map in the most variety of different areas. I've been voluntarily coaching kids for more than 25 years. I've been using it there. I've been doing my Forever Living workshops where I meet people that wants to bring it into their families and do family goal maps, not only the business goal map. I'm, of course, since I'm an exercise physiologist, I've been working with sports people. I've been helping people reach their goals with the help of goal mapping in sports. I have done it with people changing their life when it comes to health, and of course with the Forever Living business. And then I've been also coaching executives within the corporate structure and that part. And I've been using the goal map in that area as well. And right now, since I had a tough journey the last year or so, since I was heavily hit by COVID and ended up in the intensive care and was really, really, really sick.
Yeah, I remember how poorly you were at that time.
Yeah.
You look fantastic now, I must say, Ronnie, but I know you were very seriously ill at that time.
Oh yeah, it was like they told my wife they didn't know if I was going to come out of there alive. So it was really, really serious. And anyway, that was nothing bad unless you die. It's gonna be only bad. You know, it was a slap in the face for me in so many ways. And I've been basically taking a full year of like pausing, reflecting, digging deep into myself and thinking like, what is it that I really, really, really love? If I can only like do one thing for the rest of my life, it's because when this happened, I had just started to coach health professionals to succeed online. Because I saw that, just like you were talking about, now we see AI coming along and we see the shift in the workplace. And I saw how the whole fitness and health industry was moving towards online. And I had already been working in the online space for 6-7 years. And I was feeling like that's the area that I want to evolve and grow. But when I was laying there in the hospital with the oxygen mask on and recovering and thinking like, what the heck am I doing? Is this what I love? Like business? Is that what I really love? No, what I still love is changing the health in people's lives. That's where my root is. That's why I left the sports world and came into the health world, because I felt more passionate in the health space than in the sports space. Even though I've had a great career in the sports field with coaching Olympic athletes, coaching sport professionals in all kinds of sports, being a keynote speaker at the Wimbledon tennis tournament, and so on and so on. But when I came into the health space, I felt more passion. It's closer to my heart. So that kind of brought me into the path that I'm on right now. So I launched the 1st of March. I launched a new online program for men with erectile dysfunction, because I was looking around and I saw all this focus on women, and nothing wrong with that, with women with menopausal problem and everything that has to do with the female hormonal system and all that. And at the same time, I have seen so many men suffering and no one talks about it. No one discusses it. It's like it's always under the radar, and the guys are so ashamed. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to mention it, and they're mentally feeling really, really, really bad. So me and a fairly new friend of mine that I met down here in space, a Canadian chiropractor, we started to talk, and we just realized both of us had a bunch of experience in that space. So in November, we started to put together the program, and we launched it now in March. And on their first phase of the program, we helped them to set their goal map of how to solve their erectile dysfunction, and with the action steps and with the time frame. I mean, you know, the whole shebang, what we do with the goal map. So that's like the latest thing I've been using the goal map in, and yeah, still as crazy as when you met me, Brian, still passionate about what I do. We've been skiing together, we've been talking together, we've been drinking together, we've been having a lot of fun together, and yeah, it's still my life of changing lives. That's it.
I'm so impressed with you, Ronnie. And the thought that came to me when you were talking then is that how many modules in your program for the erectile dysfunction?
We have 3 modules. So basically it's a 12 week program, and we have a reset phase, we have a retool phase, and we have a relaunch phase. So it's like 3 separate steps in the program.
And so the thought that came to me was, are you using goal mapping because it helps people to follow through your other modules, that by creating a goal map, they've got a learning plan, a personal development plan? But the other thought that came to me, of course, is that much of what we know affects us, men or women, is our own thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's our strongest thought that becomes the command to our subconscious mind. So do you think that creating a goal map also gives a very positive thought to guys that are suffering with ED? And of course, it's not just the guys that suffer, because it upsets the relationship for both parties.
I thought it was going to be kind of an easy thing to coach these guys in the beginning. I see everything is easy. I never see the problem. That's just how my brain works. But when I talk to these guys and I listen to all the suffering and the relationship problems, and you know, it's like
feelings of inadequacy.
There's so many layers in it that I had never thought about in that depth as I see it now. So when in the reset phase, we have a visualization protocol that they go through to start to train their subconscious mind and to bring it into a learning mode. And we connect that visualization exercise to their goal map, to the actual goals they set. and then we bring that into action steps.
Mm.
So it becomes very alive, and they need
Yeah.
to, and just like you practice on your goal map, they dedicate themselves to practice that at least twice a day, 10 minutes at a time. So it's like a meditation sort of subconscious training. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Which in turn is helping to establish those neuro pathways, and we know that so much of it in terms of our physical response is mentally driven.
I have a very good story on that I had totally forgotten. I just happened to remember it just last week because I told the story. I was badly injured in my back when I was around 20 years old, and I was doing my sports career, and I was on the way into the national team and all that, and I messed up my back, and I couldn't really train the sport specific training for over a year. And at that time, my coach, who was a former Olympic medal winner from Sweden, he helped me to say, Ronnie, that is no problem. Don't stress about this. We keep on doing what you've been doing, but now we're going to train your subconscious mind. So at least for 30 minutes every day, you're going to do the technique training in the discus throw, and you're going to see it, and you're going to believe it, and you're going to practice all the details, feeling all the feelings, seeing the whole thing, seeing it like you are experiencing it. And I did that for over a year. And when I came back to actually start doing it physically again, my technique coach at that time got blown away because my technique had improved so much, even though I hadn't been practicing it physically for over a year. And I came back and my technique level was way better than when I got injured.
I've heard so many reports saying the same thing, and it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But in the studies conducted, it often shows that the people that are physically practicing every day often don't improve as much as the people that are visualizing every day. And it's because in the physical practice, we're often making a mistake and we get some negative feedback.
Yeah.
It's like looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I'm fat. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that.
But you
and
see
of course,
that
we're making that the goal when we do.
Yeah. But I'm sure you've seen that video clip with Will Smith where they interview him. And he said, like, when I set a goal and I decide, it's already done. Now it's just for the rest of the world to see it. I already know it.
Yeah.
I already know it. We just have to wait for you all to see it.
Yeah. It's that knowingness, that brain cell connection that commands the subconscious. And of course, the goal map helps us to cement that picture.
Exactly.
So Ronnie, the best way for people to contact you, would it be LinkedIn for you?
I'm all over the social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I shared my link to the webpage. Someone asked for it for the program, so I shared that. So
yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy to find.
And you're happy to help people, whether they're guys coming to you with ED or it's other people coming to you?
Yeah. I can always, I don't think I have ever, unless it's really rude people. I don't think ever I haven't guided people to, if I can't help them personally, I guide them where they should go and get the best help. Yeah.
And same questions I asked earlier with Nikki, Ronnie. What's the greatest goal that you think you've achieved? What gives you the best feelings of your achievements over the years?
It's moving here.
To Spain. Yeah.
Because I mean, the long story short is that my wife is from Venezuela, and we met in the States. We married 32 years ago, and we decided to let's start in Sweden. So we started in Sweden, but the problem was that start lasted for 30 years. So, and I have always said that, one day, baby, you're going to have a lot of sand between your toes again, because getting back to Latin America, especially Venezuela, but the situation down in Venezuela makes it impossible to go there. And then again, when you have grown up kids, we have 3 kids, They live in Sweden. They all live in Stockholm, 24, 28, and 29 years old. And then it's pretty nice to have them within a few hours flight away only. So we can always jump on a flight and be in Sweden within 4 hours. So, but the feeling of living here, I think, is like the best choice I have ever made. Every day is a blessing. Every day is like what I've always wanted it to be, lifestyle wise. I mean, we wake up in the morning, take a little and half an hour work in the morning. Then me and my wife walk up the hill to the gym. There's a rooftop on the gym where we work out in the sun. We come back, either go and have a dip in the ocean, go to the house, to the apartment, have breakfast overlooking basically the same view as you have, Brian.
Freedom lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a great view of the sea out here, but some days are cold and rainy. And I remember about 2 years ago, it was a cold day here in England. I was looking out at the rain, and I messaged you, I think, on Facebook or something, and I said, "Oh, it's a miserable day here. It's all dark and wet." And you were in Sweden at the time. It was before you moved, and you said you'd had 20 minutes of sunshine all day.
In 3 months, we had 20 minutes of sunshine.
I understand why you moved to Spain. And goal mapping online has been a game changer.
Yeah.
When you joined goal mapping, we did have an online program, but technology back in 2015 is not what it is now.
No.
And now with Zoom and screen share and the digital platform, you can work anywhere in the world. And myself and Vicky, we spent a month in Vietnam with someone you know, actually, Peter Eric.
Exactly.
Maria, promoters from Norway originally. So we had a month in Vietnam last year, and we're working there. Whether online or on paper, is there one story, memory, experience that comes to mind that's particularly pleasing for you, someone you've managed to help, or a group of people? I know you've done a lot of corporate work as well, of course. So something where you've helped someone with goal mapping that you feel was particularly pleasing for you?
There is one story, maybe not what you would expect it to be, but I had one woman I work with in my Forever Living business, and she got so inspired by the goal mapping system and everything. So she implemented it, and I kind of coached her and guided her how to implement it into her family. And her kids were at that time like around 10, and 2 kids, 10-ish in age. And they decided to use the goal mapping to put the goal up for the whole family to go to Euro Disney.
Wow.
And that was not even close to their budget at that time. And they got the kids so engaged, and they came up with so many ideas, and they talked about it on a daily basis. And 9-10 months later, the whole family went to Euro Disney together because of the family goal map. And I think that's, to my heart, is like the one I remember the most, even though I can share like sports stories, health stories, business stories, and all that. But that's the one that pops up in my mind, actually, as the first one.
Yeah, lovely feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't been there myself. Have you been there? Euro Disney?
I've been to the 2 other ones in
America
and California, but not the Paris version.
Ronnie, absolute pleasure. Thank you for making the time to speak to us tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a joy, mate. And I hope we get to see each other again soon. It's been too long already.
I'm still waiting for you to come visit, you and Vicky. I mean,
that's it. Invitation taken, and we'll be on our way.
Awesome. Fantastic.
All right, you're a fantastic person, Ronnie. And
Thank
you're
you so
looking
much,
really
Brian.
Well.
You too.
Lots of love to you, my friend.
Love
Please do get in contact with Ronnie if you'd like to know more about his work. Take care, my friend. I'm going to go back into the PowerPoint presentation. just change the view here on the screen, and to say that a goal mapping is powered by understanding the power of positive thinking. This was the great turning point in my own life, from feeling desperate about not knowing where I would go or what I would do or how to improve my future, to being able to start a new career, not only using personal development in my own life, but being able to teach other people what I had learned for myself. Goal mapping helps to activate the whole brain. Each of us have billions of brain cells. The estimate is that we have 100 billion brain cells, and each of our 100 billion brain cells, or neurons, grows these arms and branches called dendrites. And each of the arms and branches are separated by a small gap. And when you have a thought, it starts in the middle of the brain cell, it travels out along the arms and branches, wants to connect with another, but in the middle there is the synaptic gap. And the key point to understand is simply this: whether your goal is for health, for well-being, whether it is for career success, whether it's for harmonious relationships, finding and following your purpose, whatever your goal or intention, what is key is that you establish a connection between two or more brain cells. And when you think positively, it releases a chemical into your brain called serotonin. Serotonin is a chemical that gives us the feeling of happiness. It also works as a neuroconductor. It joins the brain cells together. It allows your thought to continue on its journey so that you build up this positive pattern of thought. And it's this joining together of brain cells that creates that aha moment where you have a light bulb idea. You find an answer to your problem, a way forward. The challenge is that quite quickly after the brain cells connect and you have that new idea and you release the serotonin and you feel motivated, well, the brain cells break back apart again. So what is key to understand within brain science and the science of positive thinking is that brain cells that repeatedly fire together, well, gradually they wire together, they connect. And as the brain cells connect, so they start to form a belief. And at first the belief is weak, it's just an opinion, it's easily broken. But the more often you think about your goal, that you picture your goal, that you remind yourself of your goal, the more you strengthen that brain cell connection, from an opinion to a belief, to a knowingness, to a feeling of certainty. And it's strengthening that brain cell connection by looking at your goals, reminding yourself of your goals, setting your goals in words and pictures that helps you to gradually activate both sides of your brain. Your right brain, so you have a good vision of the future, you know where you want to go, why it's important to you. You have some detail about the plan, the path you need to follow. Equally important, you're able to follow the strategy. You're able to follow through on your daily actions so that you can be effective in putting your plan into action. And it's by activating both sides of the brain. So the left side of the brain that is more logical and thinks in words, and the right side of the brain that is more creative and thinks in pictures. Left brain, conscious mind, right brain is more connected to subconscious mind. And by connecting the whole of the brain, it helps us to be effective, to turn our chosen desires, our thoughts, into reality, to come up with new ideas, new plans, new ways forward. If you think you can, you probably will. If you think you cannot, then you probably will not. Because when you think negatively about yourself, your life, your situation, the negative thought is releasing a different chemical, cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. It gives us the feeling of sadness, fear, and if we hold on to it too long, it sends us into depression. It's also a neuroinhibitor. So the more negative we become, the more our brain closes down. This is an ancient survival system that worked really, really well when the main danger in life was a hungry bear or a saber-toothed tiger that wanted to eat us for lunch. In modern life, when the problem is I don't have enough money to pay my bills, or I'm worried about my relationship because it feels like my partner's drifting away, or I'm wanting to find the love of my life, or to help my children to be happy and have a good future. Life's modern problems require a creative solution. Going into fear causes the problem to look bigger, and we just become frozen or frantic. What's required to solve life's modern problems of finding the love of our life, of learning how to be happy, of helping ourselves to improve our health and well-being, or to increase our income, boost our career, or anything else. Life's modern problems require a creative solution, and we achieve that by setting goals, by holding the intention of where we want to go and what we want to do and who we want to be. And by setting the goal in words and pictures, it's helping people to activate the whole of their brain, their logical brain as well as the creative brain, so that they are commanding both their conscious and subconscious mind. Subconscious mind, we teach to children, is like your own magical genie. It's enormously powerful. Your subconscious mind can do the most amazing things that the scientists are still completely baffled by, how the subconscious has such great power. But the one thing that your subconscious mind cannot do is to make choices. Your subconscious mind cannot evaluate what is good for you or bad for you. It cannot distinguish between what you really want and what you really fear. We must command the genie. The genie is all powerful. It can help our wishes come true, but it cannot wish for you. With your conscious mind, you are master of the magic lamp. But because your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is good for you or bad for you, if you're not setting really clear goals, your subconscious simply follows your dominant thought. And your dominant thought is the thought that you think most often and with the strongest feelings. And unfortunately, for so many people around the world, the dominant thought is not of what they want, for so many people, the dominant thought is of what they fear. It's their bills, it's being alone, it's life going wrong in some way. To make sure that our dominant thought is of what we want, we set goals, because every time we think about our goal, we look at our goal, we tell ourselves we're going to achieve our goal, that strengthens the brain cell connection and it sends the command to our subconscious mind. And it's why, after all these years of writing the books and teaching the system, I still create my own maps. Because it's not knowing about this system that makes it work. Whether you're a very experienced person in goal mapping like Ronnie or Nikki, who you've heard from this evening, or whether you're brand new, listening to me, listening to Ronnie, listening to Nikki, listening to any of the other 1,542 people that have become certified since 1999. So 24 years of certification in goal mapping. All these people around the world teaching the system. Okay, it's not knowing about it that makes it work. It's working the system that makes it work. That's as true for me, the originator of the system, as it is for somebody just starting the system. And if you will create your goal map in words and pictures, it will work for you. And whether you are an existing coach and you've lost contact with the technique and you've not been creating your maps recently, whether you are an aspiring coach, if you want to coach goal mapping, then prove it to yourself by having your own goal map. Create a goal map of you being certified in goal mapping, helping the people that you have a passion for. You heard Nikki and Ronnie talk about their passion of the people they want to help and the way they want to live their life. Ronnie talking about the fantastic freedom lifestyle that he has in Spain and how goal mapping helped him achieve that. What do you want to achieve with goal mapping? What type of coaching? Who are the people you want to help? What is the freedom lifestyle you want to enjoy? Map it down for yourself. It's not about hearing about it from others. It's not about knowing how the technique works. It's about working the system. Create your map. Many years ago, when explaining this in one of my workshops, one of the delegates said, I'm a motorcycle riding instructor, and the big danger for motorcyclists are all of the holes in the road. And whether you're on a motorcycle or a push bike, the danger is if you stare at the hole, you automatically go to the hole because your subconscious mind moves you towards what you focus on most. You'll see this same principle taught in sport, like skiing, for instance. If you stare at the tree, you ski to the tree. Or if you're a racing car driving, you stare at the crash barrier, you go to the crash barrier. If you're on a pedal bike or a motorbike and you stare at the hole, you will go to the hole. Stay focused on where you want to go. How do you maintain the daily balance of staying focused on where you want to go while still being aware of the challenges in life? Well, create a goal map. A goal map helps you to be present in the moment and be aware of the potential dangers in your path, the hole in the road. We are all on a journey through life. There will be many holes. Creating a goal map helps us to hold a positive focus on where we want to go, what we want to do, and who we choose to be as a person. Goal mapping does this in a particularly powerful way because of this balanced combination of words and pictures, helping to activate both sides of the brain. Left brain with words, right brain with pictures. A goal map taking people forward in a balanced way to achieve authentic success. Goal mapping is both a mindset workshop as well as a simple 7-step process of how you achieve goals by setting them in the most powerful way. And together they form a simple system for sustainable success. And for me, it is the measure of true lasting success, sustainable. You can have a random piece of good fortune. You can win the lottery. You can have some good luck in many different ways. But success over many years is never random. It's never an accident. It is never chance. Sustainable success is really the hallmark of authentic success. Somebody who achieves success in their health or their wealth or their relationship over a number of years is never, ever an accident. And goal mapping really helps people achieve sustainable success. If you want to dive deeper into the goal mapping mindset content, then please do visit the Gold Lounge. And in the Gold Lounge, not only do we have our general workshops and tools and systems to help you develop yourself to a higher level, but we have 7 life coaching rooms for harmonious relationships, purposeful living, authentic happiness, achieving your best life, financial freedom, feeling fantastic, and vibrant well-being, as Ronnie was just talking about. Go into any of the rooms and there you will find success interviews. You'll find the Deep Dive Golden Opportunity Workshop, 4 hours of content covering one of the goal mapping principles in a deep level of insight with exercises and also on interactive workshop mode, plus the Life Path Masterclass, where we cover how to create a goal map specifically focused on that particular life area. If you're a coach or a trainer and you would like to know more about the opportunity to get involved in goal mapping and to become certified with the system, either to add to your existing coach training or to start a career change from something you're already doing to becoming a coach trainer, then this next part of the program is specifically for you. And for anyone not interested in becoming a coach or a trainer or learning how to become certified in goal mapping, then I really thank you for joining this evening. Please do go create your goal map and share publicly, and particularly with me and Vicky. And if you would like our feedback, we would be really thrilled to share it with you. Use goal mapping in so many different ways. You can use it, of course, to live your own life. You can spread the word to others. Remember, you can use the online system for absolutely free. And if you are interested in becoming a professionally certified person teaching goal mapping, whether that's one-to-one coaching or group presentations, then I'm going to share some information with you now. The certification on goal mapping is completely universal. It covers you whether you want to focus on working with people in the corporate world or general public or education, and whether you want to work one-on-one as a coach or in small groups, half-day workshop as a facilitator, or to run big presentations, large audience, and for a whole day, if you wish, as a goal mapping practitioner. It's an international license so that you can work wherever you wish in the world. And we have a full resource centre that will support you in working, excuse me, in any of these areas. And so there is both video to help you to learn the teaching and the coaching of goal mapping, as well as the resources that you may want to use online or download and to use either physically with people or to create your own marketing and presentation materials. In the resource center, we have a logo, such as the goal mapping logo, that you can use on your web pages or email or printable materials. We also have flyers which you can personalize with your own details so that you have your marketing materials from the get-go. And again, you can either send these online or you can print them out and use them in physical workshops. We've got PowerPoint presentations as well as testimonials on goal mapping in general public area, corporate and education. And these are testimonials on goal mapping. And so it's absolutely in integrity that you can use them to show what people are saying about goal mapping. There is, in addition, manuals, coaching guides, and PowerPoint presentations that support you in using goal mapping in any of the different areas where you would choose to. You learn to coach goal mapping both online as well as physical, so you can download the paper resources or we post them out for people that wish them, as well as the different PowerPoint presentations. And you also, of course, get lifetime access to the online program. I'm just going to say that one more time, lifetime access. So once you become certified in goal mapping, you have premium access to the online program for yourself for life. And we have meetings taking place every week, as Nikki Wild said in her testimonial earlier when she was speaking, that there is a fantastic support community. You're really not on your own. Wherever you are in the world, you're able to join with an internet connection and to learn from the wisdom of the community. It is a like-minded, heart-centered, caring and sharing group of people that are brought together through their desire to make a difference in the world. And they have chosen to become certified in goal mapping as a tool in their coaching or training toolbox that helps them make a difference. When you are certified as a coach, you have your own coaching center. It's here in the yellow button. Open up the coaching center. This is my one. These are the different people I'm coaching at the moment. And I can go to any of these people that I'm coaching and I can open my personal coaching page with them. And as a coach, I can write messages or I can open their goal maps. I can look at their goal maps, which update in real time. If my client is sharing their goal map with me, I can see the updates they're making. I can write feedback. I can send them direction. If you want to run workshops, then as well as running your workshops physically, and we have the PowerPoint presentations to support you in that, you can also create online workshops. And not just that you share a PowerPoint on Zoom, but that you create a workshop within the goal mapping platform. This can be your own video. This can be your own content and downloads, and you can drag in the tools from the goal mapping platform so that people can do a life balance check or use the online journal or create a goal map. You can even have your own registration page. So it's like people walking through your own door into your workshop, which you can brand in your own colors, in your own artwork. And you can even create them for your own clients if you want to, so that you have your own online program, or if you wish, your own evergreen product. You can even create your own sales funnel system in the goal mapping platform, so that you can have web pages and email autoresponders that help you to raise awareness of your goal mapping product. Here on the screen, Forever Living are one of my oldest clients. My first presentation to them was in 1999 in the UK, and I've now presented to more than 100,000 of their network around the world in many different countries, and created their own branded area of goal mapping. As you can see here, there are many people enjoying the benefits of this special workshop with the focused video. And this is something that if you're taking the certification in goal mapping, that you can access and use for yourself. And it's part of the training that will help you create your own branded area. This is both a self-development journey for yourself as well as a business opportunity, because the authentic training journey that we take in the coach training on goal mapping is that you are coached to create your own goal maps. Over a period of weeks and months, you create your maps for living your best life, authentic happiness, raising your self-esteem, increasing your well-being, creating a goal map for your financial freedom, harmonious relationships, finding and following your purpose. By creating your own goal maps in a series of coaching sessions, you map out your own life, you form your own brain cell connections, and you authentically learn how to coach others to do the same. And what's more, by creating your maps online, you're able to update your maps on a regular basis. It becomes a living document and enhances your own neural net. It really is truly a self-development journey, as well as, of course, being a business opportunity. Because as well as developing your own brain structure and your own achievements, as you've heard Ronnie talk about and Nikki talk about tonight, you also, in addition, are coached to create your goal map for running your own business. And whether you want to work in corporate or education or general public or network marketing or health or well-being or anywhere you want to work, anywhere in the world, your goal map is your business plan. And by being coached to have your own goal map, to learn the training and start your business, that in turn helps you to coach other people who want to advance their business, their executive career, or to make their life change from a corporate employment into being self-employed. A professional certification covering not only goal mapping, but also life mapping. Life mapping is the same route as goal mapping using words and pictures, but it's focused on helping people be their best. A goal map is focused on doing your best and having your best results. Included also in the certification is the Youth Coach Training Program. Complete resource center of training manuals, downloads and guides, plus one-to-one group coaching, and importantly, marketing support. Marketing materials, as well as an online marketing system of landing pages and autoresponders, so you can create a simple sales funnel, and together with the promotional materials, reach out into the world and start to attract people back to your particular brand, your version of goal mapping. Everybody who becomes certified in goal mapping also receives a coach profile, which is open to the internet, and you can use it as your own personal page if you wish, where you can draw people back to see your coach profile, which we help you to create as part of the coach training. You can see this one here from Louise Barnacle, who's another person who did a goal map to leave the UK and move to, where's she gone, Vicky? Lanzarote, another person chosen the sunshine. Goal mapping is a simple 7-week learning journey, 7 coaching sessions, 4 group sessions led by me, and then 3 one-to-one sessions with a coach of your choice. We have more than 20 coach trainers speaking different languages, focused on different levels of expertise and market areas, whether that's education or business or network marketing or sports or general life area. And so we find a coach that really matches the area where you want to work with goal mapping. And of course, we help you to find that area, to find your niche. And becoming certified in goal mapping gives you lifetime membership with the program. And I mentioned this briefly earlier, that there is no license renewal. That once you become certified in goal mapping, you are certified for life. There is nothing to pay. You get lifetime use of the platform, both for yourself to use, as well as for your clients when you are coaching them. It really is a life skills tool. It's lifelong, and goal mapping is life-wide in that you can use it in so many different ways and life areas. Some people using goal mapping in business, and some people in public, and some people in education. And of course, the certification covers all those areas. Some people want to start at the one-to-one coach level. Other people want to go straight into running workshops. And if you're joining at the workshop level, at the facilitator level, that also includes the coach training. Some people going straight high end because their passion is speaking to big audiences at conferences. And if you're taking the conference package of practitioner, that also includes workshops, half-day facilitator, and the one-to-one coaching program at all levels. We also include the educational material, because so many people have a passion to make a difference to young lives. Emily here in Italy started by teaching goal mapping to children, and she had such a passion for teaching goal mapping to children that it's brought her into the media many times in Italy, even into mainstream newspapers for the amazing work she's done. But she's also now working with big business in Italy, as well as running spiritual workshops on goal mapping in Italy. John Alexander here is helping young people with apprenticeships in goal mapping. And wherever you want to make a difference, whether that's just in your own family or whether it's in a local youth centre, or maybe it's a young sports team, or maybe you're a teacher working within a state education. If you want to make a difference to young people, goal mapping is, of course, a lifelong life skill. I started teaching it to my own children when they were just 5 years old. And you can see here the video from the parents' goal mapping pack of me coaching my own daughter. I think she was around about 11 here when I was coaching her. There's also another video in the family centre of when she was around about 14, and I'm coaching her in the online system rather than on paper at the table. Full resource support pack if you want to help people, young people, learn goal mapping. Normally 3, 5, 9, but included within the coach program. Also included are 10 gold upgrade codes and 15 silver upgrade codes. The price of a gold upgrade code is £90, and the price of a silver upgrade code is £42. These codes last 1 year, and you get 10 gold codes, so that's equivalent of £900, and 15 silver codes. Total value of those codes £1,530, but they are included within the coach package, and you use those codes in whichever way you wish. You can add them to your coaching so that you're adding extra value to your clients. You can resell them, you can give them as a gift. They're yours as part of the package to help you start teaching goal mapping in the most powerful way, and also to support you with certification within life mapping. Many of the coaches feel that life mapping is their first choice, especially if they're more therapy based, because the life map is focused on helping somebody to be their best and then follow through with a goal mapping of doing their best and having their best results, whereas other coaches are more focused firstly on the physical goal, and we use life mapping afterwards. Whichever way you choose to use it, it's an extra coaching model and certification you have to enrich the offer that you can make available to your clients, and of course the value that you can receive as a coach by offering more services. All of this, of course, available in the online system. You can coach people there with both goal mapping, life mapping, and also action mapping. Normal price of the life mapping $599, but included within the coach certification. And so the coach certification, just £1,495, and with that you get the upgrade codes and the family education pack. So if you want to work with young people, plus the life mapping coaching certification, the total price would be nearly £4,000, but it's just this one inclusive price of £1,495. And if you wish, we are able to offer a payment plan. Coaches are using goal mapping and life mapping in so many different ways. Risha here from Norway, but also working with goal mapping and life mapping in India, starting in 2015, and being really active wherever she chooses to work around the world. And so whichever level you would like to operate at, whether it's the one-to-one coach, whether it's the facilitator level, or whether it is at the practitioner level, please do let us know. If you have questions you'd like to ask, and I'm just looking at the chat now, somebody's saying, Christine, if we want to start at the coach level, does it cost the full amount to take facilitator at a later date? You simply pay the difference. So some people start at facilitator level and it includes the coach. And the reason why some people start at the facilitator level is because they know at the very beginning they want to run workshops, they want to do group work as well as the coaching. So they start at the facilitator. Other people, not sure. They know they want to do coaching. Maybe in the future they want to do group work. And so those people start at the coach level. It makes no difference in price. And the difference is, if we know you want to do facilitator level, then we create a learning plan that supports you in that from the get-go, from the outset. And myself and Vicky and the other coaches will think about, okay, what is it that you want to learn half-day workshop plus coaching, who is your niche audience, so that we can create a learning journey, a stage plan for you that you can do in your own time to help you learn both the workshop content as well as learn how to create your own online program if you want to, and of course the one-to-one coaching. If somebody wants to start the coach level, then we know, okay, we just need to focus here on the coach level and help this person learn to the one-to-one coaching and their niche audience of who they want to work with. And then maybe they're going to move to workshop level in the future. And once you're certified, can you join as many sessions as you wish? I'm just seeing the answer here from Vicky. Okay. And so either book your place if you wish to, and Vicky's posted the link, or book a call with me and Vicky if you would like to talk through how a goal mapping can work for you personally as a coach and how it can be tailored to your specific passion to help the people you want to help your clients. Thank you for joining this evening. Been really good to connect with you, and thank you to our two goal mapping life lifters, Ronnie and Nikki, for sharing their insights. I wish you all well. See you again next month for another workshop. Take care. Bye for now.